Hi! It's alive. I can't even redo that one. Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book Universe, and the number 62 podcast. That's right. So a little later on, I'll be unboxing that Ghost Rider that you see right there. That just saying it's right here, and I'm in love with it. It's pretty cool, man. It cost me $60 Canadian. They were not clowning around. So yeah, actually, I might even start opening that a little bit sooner than I thought. Today was not a great week for me because I just got back from Toys R Us with my kids, and I really wanted to go to Toys R Us and then shoot down to the thrift store. I wanted to see what kind of thrift store comic books they had down there, and not that. Plus, they had that one Wolverine Incredible Hulk issue 340. The one with the totally awesome Wolverine cover, and he's going like this, and the Grey Hulk's faces and the claws. Yeah, that one. I believe that's the Rob Liefeld. Oh, I'm so mad that they were trying to sell that for $80 Canadian. I'm like, dude, no, that ain't worth it, brother. That ain't worth it. So, no, I'm not buying it. And they was like, well, sorry, we've got experts. You ain't got no freaking experts back there. Shut up, man. Shut your mouth. Tell me you got an expert. I'll kick you and your expert. Anyway, hey, what's going on there, Raven? In fact, I just might actually start opening this now because it's pretty awesome, man. I'm looking at it. Look at it. It's awesome. Anyway, so, shoot. Left my knife out there. I got a pair of scissors here, so. I studied in Togakoro Ninjutsu when I was age 8 to 11. Yes, age 8 to 11. And I had private practice, private studies. Like, not only did I have private studies, the dude legit had no other students. It was a favor, to my father. And my father didn't even like the idea of it necessarily because my father grew up in the school of kicking is for girls. Yeah. Sexist. Anyway, now in the world of MMA, nobody says that anymore. Because if you say that, you'll get kicked in the face. So, my father was a late bloomer as far as modern society goes. So check this out. It comes with a handlebar. Yes, it comes with it. Actually, my little closer. It comes with the one handlebar. It's got a little speedometer on it. Oh, man. Oh, my God. The front of this bike looks amazing. First off, this is easy. Let me pull out this chain. Look at this chain. Like, that really could have been much. When you think about it, that really couldn't have been a whole lot better, right? Everything could be better. It could have, come out like this and done one of those. But, that really couldn't have been a whole lot better, man. That is just insane. Oh, my God. I could wrap this around his shoulder if I wanted to, the way that looks. I think it'll be easier to just pull out the figure itself. This is where he came. He's got the little metrosexual wrist thing there. Let me put that down. Oh my God, I was just doing some window shopping and I saw this fleece vest. It was amazing. So no, it's not going to happen. Sorry there, Johnny Blaze. Well, he's got the fire down his neck. I always wondered, how would they do a good figure? And I'm not of that old school that says that you can't say toy. Now, I'm okay with calling this a toy. Also, what changed? His mouth. Look at that. The mouth opens and closes. Oh my God. $60 Canadian, dude. This whole thing, $60 Canadian. And, so in American, that would be about 40, right? 45. It'd be about $45. Just doing the conversion in my head. Oh, careful now. I don't know what's going to break if I pull it out the wrong way. All right, it's going to be loud. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Deal with it, my peeps. Okay, so it comes with this that is hopefully removable because it was just removed. So, yeah. Let's see what else I can... Oh, these stupid little... Oh, everything just the fire comes across. Bill, you excited for Immortal Hulk and Amazing Spider-Man by Spencer? You have no idea. The Amazing Spider-Man, yes, I am. I'm, of course, like most other normal people, I'm a little bit scared because, oh no, he didn't do the greatest job in the world on, Secret Empire. It could have been better. You know what? Sometimes sometimes when I get laid, basically, I feel like it could have been better. So I'm not really so concerned with that as much as I probably should be. Um, Everything could be better, and everything could also be worse. So I am of the mindset that yes, I am happy. For me, the only problem that I had, I know there's a bunch of people who are all just like, "Weh," but I don't know. I stopped wetting my pants when I was two. I was diaper trained. I was potty trained by the time I was two, not diaper trained. So my oldest son too. My youngest son, he's 2.5. He's still not potty trained. So, in my mind, like, oh no, he's going to be handicapped. I'm like such a butthead. Okay. It comes with another one down here. All right, good, 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 good. So, anyway, sorry, I'm like a little bit distracted as I'm talking, but okay, so the fire goes on there. I might actually have to glue the fire on. I've got the super glue to put that on there. I'm gonna put the bike on there. So the only problem that I actually had with Spencer's, because like Spencer, nobody's ever complained about Nick Spencer before, ever, 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 until Secret Empire came out. Nobody ever did that, and all of a sudden, Secret Empire, and people are like, oh my god, he might mess it all up. Just calm down, man. Take a little bit of a chill pill. It'll do you well. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. Calm thyself. So, the only problem I had with Spencer's Secret Empire was the way that it ended. I felt like the ending fell a little flat. Not even completely flat. It fell a little bit flat. That's it. I felt like there was a whole lot of buildup. And honestly, if Marvel wasn't screaming about, you're gonna love the ending, oh my god, it's an amazing ending, everybody's gonna be satisfied with the end. You can't tell people they're gonna be satisfied with the ending and then magically will be satisfied with the ending. Just don't don't. You know what I'm saying? Just relax, all right? If people don't like it, they're not going to like it. Don't tell us we're going to like the ending, because then when we don't like the ending, it's like, oh man, we got lied to, man. They treated me for a sucker. So I don't like being treated for a sucker. So anyway, all right. So that's the bike. That is the bike. Look at this. Just moves. Yeah, I'm gonna actually glue these pieces. I got my. What? Go away. Shh. I got my little glue, super glues here, and I love doing models. I love doing models, and I haven't done a model in a really long time, and I'm kind of upset by that. Oh, I also got a Hot Wheels car of the Milano, the little it is that big, but the spaceship, the Guardians of the Galaxies, the Guardians of the Galaxy fly. Blah, blah. So anyway, let's see what I can do with this guy here. So as far as the Immortal Hulk, yeah, especially since you, Sean, told me that my Eye of Agamotto told me that Sasquatch is going to be co-starring in that, which I am elated for. So that actually makes a lot of sense. And of course, it makes a whole lot of sense because when push comes to shove, it's like Walter Wachowski, he never, really had to. There was a time, like it was a storyline more than anything else, but it wasn't. It's not a major plot point for him to lose his mind. He's always got control of his mind. In fact, he's not very good at he's not very good at fighting. He's not a good fighter. He's good at picking things up and putting them down or throwing them on occasion. But he's not, like. If he got into a boxing match with somebody, be like, listen, he hits hard, just don't let him hit you. You know what I'm saying? And you could reasonably consider, yeah, I won't let him hit me because he's not that great of a fighter. He's okay. He's actually pretty good, but he's not like a Wolverine, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. The Hulk's going to hit you. If he don't hit you the first time, he's going to hit you the next 14 times, but you won't be conscious for the 13th and on. So anyway, yeah, I am excited for that. I do love that Sasquatch will be in it. What else is here? Hey, P.A. Stewart. Speaking of Ghost Rider, you excited for Cosmic Ghost Rider miniseries and Multiple Mans? I am not particularly excited for Multiple Mans because I never really got into Multiple Man. I never really got into Jamie Madrox. I know that Dave Friant has the the head of Nerdarchy, but I never really got into it myself. It's like whatever. Like his character when I run his game on it's actually my game when I run that game on his channel Nerdarchy on YouTube, the Marvel Superheroes Advanced Role Playing Game System. What do you call it? That's the kind of character he plays. He plays a multiple man type character. He can clone himself multiple times. I'm just like, okay, cool. That's a pretty cool power, for you. I personally don't care about cloning. I made a character when I was younger. I think I was 12, and I made a ninja called Multiforce, who was a ninja who could clone himself. Yeah. Feel free to use the name Multiforce. Yeah. Not even patent pending. So yeah, definitely got a lot of parts in here that are not going to stay on. So I have absolutely got a freaking like it's not even good clipping. It's horrible. So I definitely have to glue some of this stuff down. But anyway, this is pretty much what I'm seeing. I've seen worse. I always wanted one of these bikes. I was kind of hoping this would stay up a little bit better. I can reinforce that, or I can do so. I'm going to put it against a wall. If I put it up against a wall, that's an easy fix. I could just have a little nail, like a finishing nail, stick out. Like one of the ones that you do with like a ball peen hammer, the really thin nails that you can't see. I could even paint it white. I could just put some white out. There we go. I could put some white out on it. I know I got white in here somewhere. I put my stuff all the way in the back because I got kids, and if they come in and like, oh, what's this? I start white outing their tongue. Not good. So anyway, yeah, I'll just put so that this actually stays up, but actually have them like twist to the side and be like, yeah, that's pretty awesome, man. I'm digging the heck out of this. This is great. Can you guys see? I should probably get an extra light source in here. But anyway, yeah, I am digging the heck out of this. So let me actually just put this right over here next to Herbie and the Vision and all these other guys really quick. Oh, you're not going to actually stay up by yourself, are you? Yeah, a kickstand would be nice. Marvel, if I had a suggestion, they got a place for him to put his feet. Wait a second. Good thinking, Marvel. Okay. Marvel did do a little kickstand. All right. That is sweet. Can y'all see that? Probably not. Anyway, yeah, you can. It's right there in the back. So I'm going to leave that there for a little while, and I'm probably going to redo all of these things. She's Invisible Woman like she's about to fall down. Maybe she wants a ride on the back of the Ghost Rider's car. Anyway, so, okay, what do we got here? Okay, yeah, my mind's back in the game-ish. Cryptid, hey, what's going on, brother? I know you're happy because I did a Captain America spotlight on story. What do we got here? And you know what's funny is I saw that BoomTube actually BoomTube, whatever. One of the guys, one of your subs, was actually commenting about it, and he did like a quick review about it or whatever. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, I actually used to own that comic book. I lost all my comics in 2011, and this is a slightly older comic, so I actually had that brand new and open, and I read it before, but obviously I lost all those back in 2011. So I went to try and search for it again, and I could barely find it. But anyway, I did recently find it on Amazon. So there are actually two links to purchase them, new or used. So I guess new is like unwrapped, which is fine. But anyway, yeah, even in like comic book stores, I can never find that. So I actually found it online. Nice. It's a part of your membership for all those. So anyway, what else do we have here? Who would win, Punisher, War Machine versus Iron Man Tony? Tony would eat him up. Tony would like turn off the armor and everything. Shame, shame on you, Punisher. You need to get better. But hey, Cyber2G, what's up? PA Stewart, question: how do you keep your kids from playing with your figures, aka toys? Okay, I am going to give some fatherly advice right now. I guess it would work for mothers too. I guess it can. My mother was not a very big disciplinarian, and honestly, I don't think I've ever met a single good woman disciplinarian. Saying I just don't think they've got the voice for it. But you really have to have the voice for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, I was in the martial arts since I was 8. I was 8 years old. I was in the martial arts, so I mean, I know how to kia. I know how to yell. You know what I'm saying? I know how to. It's not just being loud and No, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like an actual scream from your gut, not from your chest, not from your neck, from your gut. You know what I'm saying? So my kids know that when I have to, I can yell, and I know it's really scary too. That's kind of the point. But if they're like, my oldest especially, he was really rambunctious when he was 2 years old. He would try and run out in the middle of the street, and my wife got to the point where legit she was like, I can't take him out. Whenever we try and go down to like the bus stop and whatnot, he will run out in the streets. If I'm trying to put him in the car, he will run out in the street. Like he knows I don't want him to do it, so he does it. I'm like, okay, done, no problem. So I started taking him out instead. Bring him to the daycare. She would take the car and go to work. We only got the one van, and I would take him to daycare. So actually, no, excuse me. She brought him to daycare. I brought him home from daycare, and we took the bus system, the public transit. He only tried that one time with me. I yelled one time, "Hey!" He just like froze. I had to walk out to the street and pull him back. He only got like one step, maybe two steps, what the little tiny steps, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd actually, bring him back in because he just froze. Good. That's the way it's got to work. I don't have to yell very often, but there's something that us Italians always say. And by Italians, I mean the islanders, the Southerners, the Sicilians, maybe the Calabresians. I don't know, but I know with us Sicilians, we always say, you want your kid to listen to you, he has to believe you. So yeah, you have to have that kind of voice, that kind of authority. There can't be any question in your mind. Like sometimes when you were in school and you ask a question to teacher, it's like, are you, the teacher asks a question, you go to give the answer. Are you asking me or are you telling me? Is the answer 13? Are you asking me or telling me? You can't ask your kids anything. You have to tell your kids. Yeah, so they know. Don't mess with my stuff. What's funny is I haven't. Yes. When I went to go see the Cars movie, Cars 3, I brought my kids, my wife and my kids, we went. And there was two, in a package, and I happened to get Sheriff, and I actually got, what's this guy's name? Lightning. I got Lightning. So I got these two totally awesome little tiny mini cars. They were, again, they were wrapped up. You couldn't actually see what was inside. Anyway, I got these, and he was like, my Cars toys. Like, these are not your Cars toys. These are my Cars toys. And I kept them down here just to see if he would take them. And he did. He went in my room one day when I was not paying attention, and he took the Cars toys. Oh, yeah, I went in and I actually got down to his level. And I just looked at him, and I had, my ridiculously long finger. I'm like, you do not go in my room. You never go in my room. And he's just, like that. That's, as long as you say it like you mean it, they don't go in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now I put them up there because I just want them up higher, but he hasn't come back in to try and take them since whenever they were down. Cryptid, wonder if Immortal Hulk will react to Rick Jones's death. That would actually be a pretty good tie-in story. Why not? That would actually be a really good one. I always hate when that happens. I just lost everything. Okay. That would be a good story arc. Sean Sidrai, Alex Ross will start doing Immortal Hulks and Captain America covers. All right, cool. Also, speaking of Captain America, I know that Ta-Nehisi Coates will be going on there. Guys, I have decided to try something. First off, I made a video. I didn't put it out yet. I made a video about the Action Comics number 1000, both versions. I just have to edit it. I don't think there's a whole lot of editing I got to do with it, but I have to edit it. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to try and just put it out tomorrow. It's not like, why not? I'm just going to try and put it out tomorrow. I made it earlier in the week, and I figure like the earlier I do it, the better. And anyway, yeah, I'm kind of hoping that, just so enough people actually see it. Also, I've got a slightly subdued intent for putting it out. I'm kind of hoping that DC Comics sees it and says, oh, this guy's talking about our book before it comes out. He's talking it up a lot and telling people to buy it. You know what, Professor Bell? We're going to send you a free copy because that would be kind of cool. Anyway, either way, I'm still really excited, and I can't wait to get my hands on the two comics. So one of them we all have to buy. The other one we don't necessarily have to buy. But anyway, I digress. I'm also thinking about making a video where I might actually put SJW in the title. But I really just want It'll be about comic books topographically, but a lot like some of these other people who do comic book videos, but they're not really about comic books. It's really just like, yeah, here's a comic book. Let me just get through it real quick so I can start making fun of people and rip it up and throw it in the corner and set it on fire and urinate on it and whatever they're going to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of just want to make a video about like all of that. And I haven't decided to actually do it, but that's my estimation is that I'm thinking about doing a video like that where I just talk about, like my stance on things. Because it's actually, I like to think it's a fairly neutral stance, but at the same time, some of these other dorks will sit there and they're just a pair of hands ripping up comic books. Like, I'm taking a very neutral stance on it. Yeah, sure. Sure you are. You're also a man child, but, whatever. Either way, I was thinking about doing a video like that, not calling anybody out by name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to call people out by names. Um, and I doubt they would want to call me out by name because that's only going to give me credibility and popularity and warrant what I'm saying and then get more people to come over. And even if they want to come over to hate, they're going to suddenly see, wow, there's actually not a lot of disagreement there. He's just kind of making fun of the way that this guy says things. So the hero worshippers who like those guys so much, like, no, you can't say anything bad about him. That sounds a little bit bad. Dislike, hate, death threats. Okay, cute, whatever. Your hero doesn't care about you. As far as I'm concerned, though, just to give like a kind of an explanation of how I feel about the Marvel Legacy and not Marvel Legacy. Yeah, well, Marvel Legacy leading into the Fresh Start. Okay, because for me, the way that I'm seeing it, the whole thing has every single thing in the world to do with with the Fresh Start, from Legacy to Fresh Start and all the little reboots. I feel like the Fresh Start thing is an answer to the squeaky wheels. Okay, they're not even 13% of the population. They're more like 6% of the population. The trick is they're really loud. They're really loud. And you know the term, the squeaky wheel, the idiom. Excuse me, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, gets the grease, right? So they're just a ridiculously squeaky wheel, and it's annoying. And unfortunately, they are changing the industry, and I'm not cool with it. If it was up to them, we'd have never gotten Matthew Rosenberg's Jane Foster Thor. And that would be such a tragedy. Such an epic tragedy to have never gotten the chance to read this incredible comic book. You know what I'm saying? Where they literally switch things up. Like Beta Ray Bill, he's another version of Thor. That was great. He was great, but he wasn't a new Thor. Drago was a new Thor. Eric Masterson was a new Thor. I'd hate to have missed Eric Masterson. You know what I'm saying? But the idea is, like, I don't think we've ever had a Thor as worthy as Jane Foster. I love this version of Thor. It's amazing, and the people, oh, Sam Wilson, he's not my Captain America, and they actually like address that in the comics. Nick Spencer actually addressed that in the comics. He was writing both Captain America comics at the same time, and doing the Secret Empire. Sorry, for someone to say that he's not an amazing, great writer, this is somebody whose brain is literally out to lunch. So I want to try and give my opinion on all of this, on the move to Legacy and everything. And I thought to do it in a podcast, but it's not the same if I do it in a podcast because then I don't get a whole lot of question answers. And I think that the podcast has really become, it's all about questions and answers. So I'd rather just leave the podcast like that and just do a separate video and then just answer questions in the comments as they come across. But anyway, that is my intent, and I want to try and do something like that soon. So maybe over this weekend, maybe I'll actually film it tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and then we'll see when I can just edit that up and put it up. I don't expect there to be a whole lot of edits, but we'll see. I might do something and be like, you know what I should do while I do this? I should do this. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's my intent. So Manuel, what's going on, Manuel? I would have preferred Cates to stay on Doctor Strange, but I'm okay with Mark Waid on the title. See, I'm okay with Mark Waid on the title too, but Cates is just doing such an amazing job. It's like, dude, why? Why get rid of him? What do we got here? Also cool figure. Thank you. I like it also. Speaking of thoughts on Ant-Man Wasp Mini that involves Microverse. See, there is so much that. Does anybody remember the Atom storyline where he got the new costume? and he went into that microverse, and he had the sword and all that stuff, and he was a swashbuckling version of it was like the Atom in Savage Land. I should definitely cover that story in a spotlight, man. Oh my god. Absolutely amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. I loved it. It was really good. I know a lot of people are like, no, wasn't that good? Shh. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Anyway, I think that they could do so much more with that. Like the microverse, when you think about how expansive our universe is, and we don't just have our universe, we've got the negative zone also, right? We've got the different dimensions at this higher level. So if they were to go into the microverse, they could have a savage land and all the other different climates that we have on this earth. They could have space battles in the microverse, traveling from one electron to another electron. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe a proton to a proton, but you get what I'm saying, right? Let's just go with the whole neutron, okay? And they got, a bunch of electrons, protons orbiting them, all right? But maybe they're technically going sub-quark. You know what I'm saying? They're technically going sub-quark, so who knows? But the idea is they could literally just have like every single adventure you can imagine, but it has zero effect on the Marvel Universe itself. Or does it? Because even a butterfly's wing flap can change the butterfly effect can change, events on the other side of the earth. Who knows? So, yeah, I love the idea. I love the idea of it. I think that there's so much there, but I love the idea. Let's actually see the execution. So, Raven, hello. Maybe the Nicolas Cage version. No, this is the Marvel version. This is definitely the Marvel version. Gerald Kanzar, hello, how are you today? So pumped up to get the Infinity War Marvel Legends today. What's the... oh, those new figures. I actually saw them because I got this in a Toys R Us here. Nice. Yeah, they looked okay. I saw they had the blonde-haired if I'm talking about the same thing you are, they had the blonde-haired version of Black Widow, which I looked at, I was like, oh, cool. Next. I like my Marvel Legends, I do, and I do wish that I would have instead collected the 3.4, yeah, the 3.75 inches as opposed to the 6-inch ones because they're half the price. And there's so many more of the characters out. I was at Toys R Us last week, and I saw Quasar, the little 3.75 inch Quasars, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's Quasar. How come they don't have that for the 6-inchers, man? Come on. Quasar he was one of my favorite comic books that I had when I was younger, man. Dude, anyway. What do we got here? 71 Bull Squad. Hi, Professor. How you doing, 71 Bull Squad? Can I shorten your name? I won't. But Sean, what do you think about about no armor and Iron Man no armor? Oh, yeah. We'd finally get rid of Tony Stark. That's what I think. Yeah, Frank would totally wipe the floor with him. In armor, though? Yeah, no. GTA Gameplay TM. Hello. Great Dad, you are amazing. Why, thank you. Or I'm just an Italian. It's funny. We always say, like us Sicilians, we always say Italian, but what we mean is, not those Northerners, not those mainlanders. Okay, I think I understand how YouTube does this silly thing now. Okay, so hey, what's going on, Isaiah? What villains are you expecting to see in Spider-Man PS4? Mr. Negative. Obviously, Mr. Negative will be in it, but okay, I'm not expecting anything, and I don't even know if I'm going to buy it. Because I'm the type of guy, like, I really set up my time as best I possibly can. Say people are like, how do you put out so many videos in the week? I don't know, how do I put out so many videos in the week? I sleep like 3 hours a day and not consecutively, like 2 hours, and I'll take like an hour power nap. Saying like that's my power nap, right? That's usually what I sleep. That's my regular schedule. Saying to sleep like that. I slept 3 hours today in a row, and my back hurt because of laying in one position for too long. But at the same time, I was really exhausted, so I chose not to take a nap today. you know. But the same, so I get up, I try and do exercise. I haven't been exercising that much. I've been like relegating my exercise to walking, and it's like, no, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? What do you call it? In order to maintain your IQ when you get to a higher age, you actually have to do a lot of cardio and strength training. And cardio, sure, but I need to start doing strength training again. I actually used to power lift when I was younger, and I just no, I can't power lift anymore. I've got the old man's body for powerlifting, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not as strong as I used to be. Um, I still surprise people though sometimes. My wife's grandmother, so my grandmother-in-law, she had a you know, like one of those Craftmatic beds. It's one of those hospice beds. It's huge, and there's mechanical components to it, and it doesn't separate. You know what I'm saying? So the box that goes around the mattress, and it's a thick mattress like this, and it's queen size, and all that stuff, and it's like, dude. And I actually hauled the whole thing upstairs from like she's on a two-floor, you know, two-story house, and from the truck that we rented around the corner inside, her brother, her older brother, 24 years old now, was supposed to help me. He was sleeping, and I was angry that he was sleeping, so I kind of, you know, got angry. I don't want to see me angry. I just, you know, hulked up and I just did the whole thing myself. I brought the whole thing upstairs by myself. I actually yelled at my wife. Sorry, I yelled at my wife because she went up to try and help. I'm like, no! If I drop this thing, like now I'm too now I can't focus on lifting this thing. Now think about not letting it fall on you. Stay away. He's like, okay. So, oops, I apologize afterwards, but she gets it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I like literally hold the thing, and she's got one of those stairs, the house that has the stairs with a landing. So it's like halfway up, landing, go around the banister, and then go back up again. It's like, oh, come on. So it's like, I don't want a reprieve. I just want a straight shot. So, and then up and around and into her freaking room down the hallway. Yeah, I did all by myself, which is like, you know, nice. And everybody, literally everybody's like, I can't believe you did that by myself. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe it was so hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I know I'm getting older, but and I can't take it as, you know, but I'm still strong. No, but I used to be stronger. So go back to that if you can. Anyway, yeah, I do that, and I it's time with the family. I cook, you know, saying on my own. I don't like to, like every so often there will be the frozen pizzas or the mac and cheese, but for the most part, I'd rather actually cook on my own and keep it healthy. You know, I actually make my own bread from a yeast. You know what I'm saying? It's a cultured yeast that I made on my own 2 years ago. So it's very fermented. It's got a lot of really good bacteria in it. It's fantastic. But anyway, yeah, I do a lot, but I usually do it by really maintaining a vigorous schedule. Actually making sure that I don't just relax on anything. Um, so something like playing a video game would be like, I would have to find a way to monetize it. Like that's just the way that my brain works. I would find a way to, and make no mistake, guys, listen, every single person who's watching this now or later, if you are going to buy that video game, here's what I want you to do before that video game comes out. If you don't know how to, then learn how to. And if you do know how to, then set up doing on your computer or whatever, or you know, on your TV, get the equipment that you need in order to live stream this game. Okay? And then actually play the game and live stream the game. Make it so that you can talk. If wow. If you can't, if you're not comfortable with talking at first, fine. You could just play the game and not do any talking. People will still watch you, but do it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Do it on Twitch. Do it on Twitch. Okay, that's actually made for that. Do it on Twitch. Do it on all whatever you can. What you should be trying to do, not what you should. Sorry, that was very presumptuous of me. It would I think that a lot of people do things and they have hobbies and they do different things without thinking about how it could be monetized, how they can actually make some money off of it. People are willing to watch anything today. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to do something entertainment purposes, consider maybe trying to find a way to monetize it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it won't take off. Maybe it will. But right now you already have no. But if you set it up and try it, that's where you have an opportunity for a yes. So may I recommend, if you're going to do that, monetize it. Get a screen sharer and all that stuff. Talk if you can, because it'll be something new. People like commentary. And just Play the game and let other people watch you play the game. There's a huge market for it right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. And since I don't do that, I don't play games because I don't feel like I have any time for that in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? My downtime is sitting down. Like I actually make I really do. I make time for hanging out with my wife. You know what I'm saying? And just talking with her and hanging out. And it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna jet now. And she's like, okay, good talking to you. Yeah, yeah, you too. Whatever. It's not quite so distant, but if I do something for myself, it's usually sitting down and watching YouTube guys doing the outback, like making, like camping and stuff like that, because I miss that. That's one of the things that I really do miss about being in the military was going out bivouacking, being out in the woods and just you start with a little fighting position. It forms into a foxhole and it becomes a freaking bunker, depending on how long you're actually in that position for. But you're always working on your foxhole. You're always working on your fighting position. And I loved that. I loved that aspect. I loved just living out there and, you got your e-tool. I'm cool with doing primitive tools and whatever. And I love doing that. So until I'm hoping that this summer we can actually go out and do that. And I'll have to that. This is me. I'll plan the whole thing. I'll be like, okay, where's a place that's close by that will have Wi-Fi access so that a couple times per day, maybe there'll be a library somewhere close by. I could just drive down there. You and the fam can go out and hang out there in this little town that's there. And I don't even know where this is. And I'll go to the library and I'll just start uploading, or I'll bring my laptop with me and I'll just start uploading a bunch of videos for the course of the week. This way, and I'm trying to do my comic books reviews a little bit early so I could just upload them really quick, and then I'll just come back and just hang out. And I would probably record that too, me being out there, in the bush, and just with the family and everything, and just I'm gonna build this little shelter now because I'm not gonna happy just putting up a tent. Oh no, I want to build an actual shelter. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I miss doing that. I miss just getting my hands dirty with the earth and just putting stuff together and all that. And I would like to try and make kiln and just go crazy with it. But like I said, that's me, and I like that's why I take time out of my day to watch those videos, because I really long for going back to doing stuff like that. Anyway, that was not about comic books at all, was it? So yeah, Boom Tubes is good in his Cap stuff. This cryptid, sorry, and actually close to reading every Cap comic out there. You know what? I believe it. I believe it. Sean Sidrai. So it is Boom Tubes. Okay, good. Sean, did you know North Star might have... he might get it on. He might hook up with Hercules before he was married. Apparently Wolverine did too. So whatevs. Okay, cool. It's all good, man. Jesse Johnson. Hello, Jesse Johnson. I know Black Widow died during Secret Empire. Is she still currently dead? Yes, she is. But it seems as though she's going to come back. Oh, she's definitely going to come back soon, because we're seeing her on covers in the Infinity Countdown story. And there's a good chance she's going to wind up coming back in issue 4 or 5 of, probably issue 4, we'll see, of the Tales of Suspense. So that'd be issue 103 and 104 with Bucky and Hawkeye. So there's a good chance that's where she's going to come back. We'll see, though. Isaiah, will Marvel ever get their act together in comics? I feel like, there's some things where they could definitely improve. There's definitely some things where they can improve. We'll see. Sean, no, she's not alive yet in Tales of Suspense. We're not sure. We're not sure if she's alive yet. That was Yelena Belova. Isaiah, also, are you excited for King Kong vs. Godzilla? The movie, yes, I am. I know there's a comic book out right now, Planet of the Apes on Skull Island. So, Planet of the Apes plus King Kong, which I'm like, cool. I hope that... I saw the original one where King Kong won. Come on. Oh, and before everybody starts jumping on that, apparently there was not a version... This is an early Mandela effect thing. There was not a version where Godzilla won. Okay? If you guys are familiar with the Mandela effect, you'll understand what I mean. If not, just look it up. Like Nelson Mandela, the Mandela effect. There was not a version, apparently, where Godzilla won. I could have sworn I saw that also. I could have sworn, but No, I did not. So it doesn't exist. So King Kong won in the first one way back in the day, which is as dumb as you could possibly believe. Forget about the original size differences and all that stuff. Just look, atomic fire breath. You're toast. Done. Fried monkey. I don't see that as being a contest at all. At all. So yeah, hopefully Godzilla wins in this one because he's a long time coming. Sean, Bill, I think the champions are in Infinity Countdown because Nadia is Pym's daughter and they might finally meet. Yes, plus, one of the things that they're showing upcoming, actually, I think that you might be the one who showed me. Yeah, you are the one who showed me. Ow! That, Nadia is going to do something where she could potentially die in the next issue, which is, but I know she'll be okay because of all the stuff that's already out there. Cryptid, I had a big laugh when I saw people make a big SJW deal about Peggy being Captain America. Are you serious? And the Exiles, especially when she's from a different universe. Exactly, she's from a different universe. They originally came up with the idea in that video game. I think it's actually called Cryptid. Hey, is that where you got your name from? Yeah, one of the contest of champions or something like that. Like, dude, are you kidding me? People sitting here freaking out. Like, come on. You know, that's the thing. That's just one of the things about it. These people who are sitting here, these people who are sitting there making a big fuss over absolutely nothing, after they win and Marvel gives them everything they want, they're still going to find a way to complain. You know why? Because their channel would end otherwise. If these same people who are sitting there, SJW Marvel, SJW Marvel, do you think they're going to move on to like to make fun of Image Comics that way? They already do, I'm sure. But like, are they just going to let Marvel go? No, they're not going to let Marvel go. They're still going to start. They're still going to find, and I don't even know necessarily what it's going to be that they're going to make fun of. But they will find some way to make fun of something and to insult something and to nerd rage about something. It's the most asinine thing you could possibly imagine. But their channels would not succeed if they're not insulting something, because that's just their way. That's just their way. You know, you always see these ultra conservatives, you know, do things like that. And I actually, I still see the thing. So I don't watch the videos, but I still see the titles once in a while of some of these people. And I saw something that said, "Oh, since we don't like Marvel, normies think like, what's a normie?" I just heard that term. You know, saying a normie. Okay, yeah, I'm normal. You're not. You're abnormal. You're an abnormie. Take that. The stupidest freaking sayings, but this is the conservative mindset, is to insult everything that is different than you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who is different from you, you insult them. So like, you just, every single name in the book, every possible way you can to try and destroy the psychological mindset and the sense of self-worth of these people, you know what I'm saying, of anybody who thinks differently than them. It's like, fall in line or I will taunt you a second time. Okay, congratulations, you're the French in Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail. You know what I'm saying? I fought in your general direction. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, these people aren't tricking anybody. They're not fooling anybody. They're fooling themselves, if anything. Nola Nerd, hello. Have you ever read Charles Soule's Image Comics curse words? I have not. And if not, if you haven't, then you should give it a shot. I actually just saw it recently, just last Tuesday in the comic book store. And Charles Soule, I follow him on Twitter. Charles Soule had said, like, you know, oh, I went and signed a whole bunch of copies of curse words. Okay, so you're trying to get the comic book out. I may check it out. I'm actually right now reading, this is going to be a spotlight and story, not next week, but very soon, Black Monday Murders. Oh my God, this is so amazing. This is insane how good this is. You guys, there's like 52 pages of just awesomeness. You guys got to check it out. All right. If you don't, whatever, take your time. But I'm going to be doing a spotlight on story for it. So you want to be surprised or not, it's up to you. Anyway, yeah, I may have to give it a check. I know I looked at it and I didn't pick it up because I'm like, but we'll see. Well, I'll take a gander. Manuel, I despise the anti-SJW group, though they do have a point in some respects. They take things too far, using panels to say one character is SJW and using social media to hound the writers. Yeah, but at the same time, the writers also comment back, which is dumb on their part. You know what I'm saying? So you've got plenty of people out there who are just being cool and like, oh, there's a really good comic, blah, 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 blah. And they're just like, okay, ignore that person. You know, he's saying good things about me. But then the person is saying bad things. You suck, you're horrible. Ah! You know what I'm saying? One time this week, I made a comment back to someone who just got online and just started like attacking people. If you want to go back and look at it, it's Thor issue 304. Thor number 304. That was earlier this week or last week. I think it was earlier this week is what it was. And so I was on Wednesday, and somebody just got on there and started like, you people are all idiots. You're all stupid for liking this. You're all dumb, and they're going to keep on making stuff like this if whatever. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm reading this, I'm like, you know that she's going to die next issue. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? So I just got on there and I tried to talk sense to him, and nope, the least amount of sense possible. And if you are going to go back and look at those things, may I make the recommendation? Look at the timestamp for each one. There's one point where I just decided to try and let him go. You know what I'm saying? And he made a reply, and then he made another reply, and then an hour later makes another reply where he says, you know what? I just realized you insulted me. You know what the insult was? I told him go and look for other comic book channels instead of mine. You'll find them easily. It says SJW in all of the titles. You know what I'm saying, of their comic book channels. Easiest thing in the world to do. You want to take it as an insult? Okay. I just figured that would be more your speed because these people agree with you. I do not. You know, the people who look at my channel do not. We do not agree with you. We like Jane Foster Thor, or we like Riri Williams, or we like whatever. You know what I'm saying? You want to call it SJW? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll call them SJWs, single white jackasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun, guys. But this person says that I insulted him that way. Meanwhile, the very first post this guy does, he's calling everybody idiots and stupid and all this stuff. It's like, I don't think you actually know what an insult is. So I try to be cool to him, and he just would not get it. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Say whatever. And trying to twist my words. Okay, dude. Whatever, man. Whatever. I had an ex-girlfriend like this kid. You know what I'm saying? I broke up with her. I broke up with this guy also. So, but yeah, of course. And also, Manuel, yes, of course they're going to have some points. Everybody's got a point. And sometimes they've got a good point. You know what I'm saying? I can agree with something that almost everybody says. You know what I'm saying? The problem is the bulk of what they say. You know, and do I want to spend my time listening to people like this? Excuse me. I decided to sit down and try and watch some Ben Shapiro one time. No, more than one time. A couple of times. Twice, to try and sit down and listen to some Ben Shapiro. 3 times. I just realized 3 times I tried to listen to it. Anyway, I tried listening to him because people are like, you know, oh, Ben Shapiro, he makes really good sense, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Here's what Ben Shapiro does. Every single video that he's ever watched, this is what he does. First off, he talks really fast. That usually makes someone a good talker. Okay, he talks really, really fast, and he's got a pretty good vocabulary. Cute. That's really cute. That does not necessarily make someone a good orator. Okay, at least doesn't make someone an intelligent orator. I'm not questioning this person's intelligence. He seems like he's a really smart guy. In fact, he might be a little bit too smart. Here's the thing. He's a foul-mouthed liar. Okay? Hear me out. The way that he will argue, he'll attack you he'll attack a point in 3 different ways. He'll say, okay, I'm about to make a point about this. So you're going to say that this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and you're right. So right away, we're like, oh, okay. Like he draws you in that way. This is his tactic. And then he's going to say, but this and this and this and this and this about the thing you're saying. So now by doing that, by attacking by acknowledging all the things that we say, and then turning around and saying, but your side has done the same thing, or something similar. And a lot of times he'll throw in lies or things that just don't mean anything. Literally don't mean anything. It's just another tick. You know what I'm saying? And he says them so fast, it's hard to catch up. I have to pause what he's saying and stop and think, be like, wait a second. He actually compared this with that. There's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. That's ridiculous. Anyway, but by doing that, he's now disqualifying our argument and therefore saying that even though these things are bad, it's okay because somebody else on the other side has done it also. That is about as false equivalency as you could possibly get in an argument. Since, yes, this is bad, but this is bad also. So since both sides are doing it, let's just make it the norm. No. How about we straighten both of them up? Ta-da! And then the third part of his argument will be to lie through his teeth about certain other things. I was infuriated. I was watching him on the Joe Rogan podcast one time. Watching it, not just listening to it. Watching it. Because I had to see his face. I had to see his eyes and his body language and all this stuff while he's sitting there talking. But this guy actually sat there and tried to say things about Canada. I was a little bit shocked. So I went and I asked my wife, who is a Canadian. I'm like, listen, what's the story with this? She's like, no. What it is such and such and such, and all this, and very simple explanations. I go and I look it up. There are a couple points where she got it wrong, but this guy over here, here's the thing, way too smart to be that damn dumb. So he knew he was lying. And he wanted to say that because, oh my God, look at how bad he was attacking healthcare. You know what I'm saying? Look, up here we have single payer. Okay? We have single payer healthcare up here. That means if you're sick, you go to the doctor, you show your citizen card or something related to a citizen card, and then the government pays for it. The government does not say, oh, we don't think that you deserve this. No. If the doctor takes you in, you are covered. Done. Okay? There's a lot of problems with the Canadian Health Service. Case in point, pharmaceutical care is not taken care of. Okay? You can't just go to a pharmacy and be like, yeah, doctor prescribed this. They'll be like, okay, you have to pay for this. My wife has insurance for stuff like that. And she's got to deal with, the insurance and the co-pays and all these things. And she's like, I don't know how to do this stuff. And I did it for her because I'm used to doing that with anything related to healthcare because I'm American. So, yeah, no. So the guy's a liar. And that's the thing. When someone speed talks at you, be wary. Because there's a good chance he's going to throw in a lot of lies. So that's the thing with that side of things. I'm not impressed with someone who can talk fast and whatever. That's just a way that somebody could sprinkle a bunch of lies in there. And that's what happens all the time. And that's what I keep on hearing from that side, But again, when I hear these people talk, yes, sometimes they do make good points. Sometimes they do say things that I can agree with. But as far as them being right, what is right? Right and wrong, it's all a matter of perspective. You know what I'm saying? There might be people who say, you don't actually spank your kids? Dude, no, because my kids are going to have to grow up with your kids, and your kids are never going to learn respect if you don't hit your kids. And there's also going to be somebody on the far other side who will say, wait a second, you get down to the level of your kids, you can't do that because that's intimidating and you're scaring them. There's always going to be somebody who's going to say you're right or you're wrong or whatever. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Look, we've all got our own way of doing things. We've all got our own beliefs. They're all based on something. I don't think there are too many people out there who are just like, I'm going to do something because I want to burn the world. No, we're all going to do things because that's what we're like. I like this kind of comic book. You like that kind of comic book. You know why everybody's here? Because we all have similar enough tastes. Nobody's going to agree with everything. And I'm not trying to be some kind of a cult figure where I want everybody to be like, you're right on everything you ever said, Bill. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because that's impossible. Okay? I like when I see somebody saying, I kind of disagree with you on such and such and such. Saying, I can deal with a conversation like that. But when somebody's like, you're a... I know what I am. I don't need anybody to tell me what I am. So I see this really nice long post, and as soon as I see you are a, I really don't usually see that fourth word. You know what I'm saying? But I'll think to myself, hope it was good therapy. Moving on. I got better things to do with my time. So there's that. What else we got there? Sean, who is better teleporter, Nightcrawler or Lockjaw? Oh, dude, Lockjaw by far. But apparently, Voyager is even better than him. But Lockjaw, we've seen teleport from the moon to the Earth, and vice versa, and all that stuff. And he can teleport a lot more people without getting nearly as exhausted as. In fact, originally he never even got exhausted. It's only recently, ever since the Pet Avengers, that he started to get exhausted. But Nightcrawler, he can go. I forget how far he can go, but anyway, he can go pretty far. But he can't go to the moon and back. So yeah, Lockjaw by a long step. Nola Nerd, everybody uses social media to hound anyone they don't like. Yeah, exactly. Well, every one of them. I don't. I've got better things to do with my time. No, I just lost everything. Okay, I'm just going to go all the way down. There we go. Oh my god. I have been attacked. There's so many people here. Or so many things. Okay, okay, there we go. True fan form. Hello, true fan form. TFF. Let's see. Hello there, everybody. Does anyone else think that the champions are like a modern version of the New Warriors? Both are teen heroes, and they speak to current issues. Excuse me. So, champions like the New Warriors, you mean like the Teen Titans and the original X-Men team? Yes, they absolutely are. A lot of them, yes, they absolutely really are. And there's a really good formula that works. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that don't work, you either haven't heard of them or they've only had a couple of issues and then fall by the wayside. So, yeah. Champions is really good. I've made the comment a couple of times that it's a spiritual successor of New Warriors. You're funny, Manuel. But I've made the comment a couple of times that, the joke that I think that maybe Mark Waid, who writes the Champions, he's got some kids locked up in his basement. And they don't realize it, but they're in the form of the Truman Show. And he's literally just watching them interact, and then he'll write down stuff and then add superpowers. I'm pretty sure, because he's got the Champions down. Like, such great writing. I absolutely love it. So agree he can teleport to the moon. Yes, of course. Let's see. Glad I'm not alone in this. Bull Squad. Ha! Just call me BS. No, you don't have to. Do you have any cool Black Panther figures back there? I want an Ayoke so bad, but not a Build-A-Figure. I agree, and yes, I do. You guys can't see it there, can you? Well, do you see my... Ah, shoot. I gotta look at the live one. Okay. You see up top, you see the Falcon over here. But over here, you see the Phoenix? Look who's trying to attack the Phoenix from behind. See, Wolverine's always killing the Phoenix. But Black Panther's like, you're about to go out of control. So, Black Panther is up there. But that's the original Black Panther. I didn't want to wait, and I didn't speculate on what we were going to see when the Black Panther came out, so I didn't get the newest one. The only one I got from the newest thing was actually the Namor. I got the Namor because it's awesome, and I was thinking about getting the Black Bolt too. I saw it again today. I'm like, I just don't know if I want to spend the money on this. Because I'm pretty sure one of these days they're going to make a whole Inhumans set, and I'm waiting for a good Medusa that I want. And I've never seen a Medusa that I actually like. They've really got to go funky with the hair and just make it boom out there. And make sure that there's a Lockjaw Build-A-Figure. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I'm asking for too much, but I'm willing to wait for that. Anyway, Professor, this is my first live session with you. I watch all your videos. Appreciate. From down in New Orleans. Oh, dude, you're going to have WrestleMania this year. Do you know how jealous I am of you? Oh, man. Love your videos. Long time. First time. Cool, Nola. You're always welcome in a comic book university. Tuition is always free. True fan form. Sean, I think. Oh, you're talking to Sean. Sean says, Bill, do you think DC will call Wonder Woman's twin brother Wonder Man? That would be a lawsuit. Let's see. See that? I opened my window because it's hot, and all of a sudden somebody goes driving by with a little cherry bomb engine. Manuel, do you think DC Wonder Man Hercule? Hercule? Do you mean Hercules? Because Hercule is something entirely different. Um, could you? I really did. When I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I really did believe that Goku was going to wind up settling for doing the combining thing with Hercule, Mr. Satan. Like I was like, no, please don't let it. Don't give him the earring. Wonder Man is TM'd by Marvel. Thank you, Raven. Somebody's on this. Okay, let's get back to everybody's talking to each other. If God had PA student, if God had meant us to camp, he would have made 3-star hotels. Nice one, dude. Nice one. Nice one. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Let's see. True fan forum. Sean Sadrai. Talking to each other. Ready for our segment? Yeah, just about. Just about. That's a coincidence. My name is Cryptid. Oh, your name is actually... Okay, cool. Okay. Victor. Hey, what's going on, dude? Have you ever read Daredevil Yellow? Yes, I have. Are you suggesting a... No, you know what? I'm not in any rush to do that because I used to watch Sal over at TV Little House, currently Comics Pop, and I think that the last one of his things, his version of the Spotlight, he was doing it long before I was. I think that his thing of... what is that called? Not off the rack, whatever the thing is that he always does. He does like one a week. The thing that that Benny always does over in Comic Storian. Anyway, Daredevil. Yeah, he did Daredevil Yellow before, so I'm not in any rush. Like that story's out there, it's cool. I may do my own version of it one day, but I'm not in any rush. I'm more interested in doing the things that I don't see other people doing. There are so many stories out there, so many great storylines and story arcs and everything that we're good. There's plenty out there. Bill, Sean says, thoughts on Robbie being on Avengers? I'm down with it. Plus, they could use some good transportation. Did you see Rogue and everybody? They're all just like, I'm so tired of flying. Why can't we just wait for Voyager? Like, to just teleport us. We're so tired. But meanwhile, if Robbie was all down there, he's like, yeah, fit a whole bunch of people in, we're good. And just, boom, just drive down there at supersonic speeds. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Avengers in style. That's what I'm talking about. Would you not accept a ride from the Ghost Rider? Because I would. I absolutely would. I would literally ride shotgun, and by shotgun, I mean Johnny Blaze's shotgun. The Hellfire shotgun. So, Professor, have you seen Gotham by Gaslight? Isaiah, I did not see it yet. I know it's available for download, and I have not seen it yet. Oh, man, I have to, and then I wanted to see it and then just do the review for it, and I just didn't get around to it. Ugh. PA Stewart, those anti-SJWs are probably the biggest income source for Marvel. You think that they're income sources? I'm curious to know how you think that they make money. I'm interested. Sean, because I guess there are people who are buying the comics and then telling other people not to buy the comics. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know about that. You, me, the regular people who just like to read a comic book and hear about the comic book. Oh, this was a good comic book. Cool. This was not such a great comic book. Oh, okay. Cool. We're the ones who buy the comic books. You know what I'm saying? Those anti-SJW guys, those crew, they're the ones who are all just like, oh, okay, I bought this comic book. You shouldn't. Well, thank you, I guess. Joe Fisher, what's up? Late. David Nelson, hello, David Nelson. Has Marvel done anything with Wonder Man lately? Yes, he is currently in the No Surrender, so the current X-Men, the current Avengers titles. Issue number 682. Issue number 682 is the most recent one that came out, and they're weekly right now. There's the mini arc called No Surrender, and Wonder Man is in there. So yeah, it was funny. It was at one point they were like, "Hey, are you still a pacifist?" Yes, but it doesn't mean I can't still beat people up. So that was good. And of course, it was already answered. Thank you, Sean. David Nelson, back issues. Oh, it's called back issues. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's right. That's right. I used to work for him, pro bono, but nonetheless, I used to actually work for him, writing comic book reviews. Jesse Johnson, Gotham by Gaslight was actually really good. Great writing. Awesome. That was the first Elseworlds comic, also. So I was actually thinking about doing Gotham by Gaslight before that came out, and just, nope. Nope. I have failed. Raven, I liked Gotham by Gaslight until near the end. Oh, really? Isaiah, what was your favorite Marvel Comics era? My favorite Marvel Comics era was actually before I started reading comic books, before I was alive. So the Silver Age. When the Fantastic Four came out, when Tales to Astonish was out, Tales of Suspense, Strange Tales, and the other one. Uh, Tales to Astonish, Strange Tales, Tales of Suspense, Tales to no, can't remember what the other one was right now. Anyway, Tales to Astonish was freaking Ant-Man. Tales of Suspense was Thor. No, was not Thor. Duh. That was Okay, anyway, so there was these four anthology comics. They were originally anthology comics, and they eventually became like Tales of Suspense. No, suspenseful stories. I can't remember. You know what? I'm thinking too much about it, and I'm making memories in my head. So somebody who doesn't have this going on in their head right now, please fill in the blanks for me. Excuse me. Anyway, these stories, these were my favorite ones. These were my absolute favorite ones because you couldn't have, and then Avengers came out at this time, right? And I didn't really get into the original X-Men stories. I reread them, a long time later, just for the sake of conversation. But reread them. I read them for the sake of, but I didn't go like crazy with it. But yes, Jesse Johnson, I am going to pick up the Domino solo series. I love Gail Simone. Absolutely love Gail Simone. And since I don't care to see what she says or does on Twitter, except hey, upcoming. I don't. A lot of people are like I am not going to read her stuff because I don't like what she says on Twitter. I don't like her political beliefs. Too bad. Okay, I'm not. I don't care about her political beliefs. I want to do that unless somebody sits there and says starts saying some seriously racist stuff. I don't really care what anybody says or does on Twitter. If you're saying racist stuff, homophobic stuff, anything like that, misogynistic stuff, it's like, dude, you're just not a good human being. You belong someplace else. You know what I'm saying? I have no tolerance for nonsense like that. People trying to infringe on other people's freedoms. Just stop. So, but aside from that, what I'm saying, I voted for Trump. I don't blame you because he claimed to at least been a better option than Hillary, and she would have been a train wreck. So, it turns out he just didn't follow up on anything that he promised that was populist. So there's that. But do you still support him? Because that could be an issue, but that's an issue with you, and I don't care. Do you write a good comic book? Okay, awesome. Just don't sit there and start, using derogatory terms towards other human beings. We don't have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my thing is nobody's gonna say like Tales of Suspense and all those what those were. Darn it. Anyway, whatever it is, I like those original comic books back in the day. If Thor appeared someplace, there was an explanation why he was there. You know what I'm saying? Stan Lee was on that stuff. He's like, I want to use, somebody goes and says, I want to use Thor over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Don Heck says, I want to use Thor in Iron Man. He's like, well, actually, right now, Thor is in Asgard. So until that story arc is done, you can't use Thor in your comic book. It's like, really? It's like, hey, keep it in sync. I loved that. I loved that. And every single time that something happened, it's like, I remember when I saw you doing such and such and such. You'd be like, oh, see last issue. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that happened in the last issue. Yeah. Usually I knew that stuff. But, like, let's say it was like, the last time that we saw Angel, he was, there was the one time that Angel appeared over in Don Heck's Tales of Suspense. You know what I'm saying? With Iron Man, And then maybe something happened over in Strange Tales. In Strange Tales with Doctor Strange, oh, hey, here's Loki. And Doctor Strange has to battle Loki. And that was okay because he wasn't doing anything else over here in the Thor comic books, I wanted to use Thor. Too bad. But you can use Loki, you know, and Thor just made a quick little cameo. There was nothing wrong with that. And I loved that. The editors were really on top of things, and I loved it. Now, the editors really haven't been on that. Lately, they've been doing a better job, but like under Axel Alonso, it was literally like, oh, yeah, man, Thor is in 14 different or Wolverine and Spider-Man are in 14 different comic books. They clearly don't ever need to sleep. So, and it's like, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. And to be fair, that was actually originally under, what's his name, Joe Quesada. And it's like, I get that they're very popular characters, but can we have some continuity? Because I always love the continuity. And it just got so bad under Axel Alonso. I'm like, this is actually really sad. I'm not happy with this at all. At all. So, yeah. Though the Silver Age was my favorite time. And I wasn't alive or reading comic books during the crux of the Silver Age, so I had to find those comic books and read them afterwards. Blah, blah, blah. Joe Fisher, as a kid, I read the Hulk 181, the one with Wolverine in it. In it was a friend of the family comic. Oh, okay. One of your friends of the family had the comic book. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first got out of the Army. Excuse me, no. When I first got out of basic training, I still had 2 years, some odd, of 2.5 years of serving, the whole full-time thing. But before I went National Guard. But when I first got out of basic training in AIT, no. When I first got out of basic training, I went around, the whole thing, and I was just hanging out in the local town, and before, because my flight was for much later. I was supposed to wait like 7 hours. I'm like, I gotta wait 7 hours. I'm just hanging, dude. I'm hanging. So I was walking around town, and I had my 2 duffel bags and my rucksack, on my back, and full. I was in my dress greens and everything. You know what I'm saying? Had everything. I had no service ribbons at the time. But I had my expert infantry badge, or my expert. No, I didn't have expert infantry badge. I had my expert marksman badge, my expert, whatever. And I had the grenade badge at the time because we qualified with the grenades, in basics. So I had all this stuff on me, and it looked pretty good. I had my cross rifles on for infantry with the little blue disc background. So I looked pretty sharp. And I'm walking around all the place, and I saw a comic book store. I'm like, oh, you better believe it. And I walked in, and I saw that somebody was actually selling for just, what was it? It was $130. They were selling the Incredible Hulk 181, and I bought it. You know what I'm saying? I bought it, and I redid my whole rucksack. I got a bunch of boards to put on it. What do you call it? And to keep it nice and straight. And I got it home. It was still in really good condition, everything. And I did a lot to keep issue number 181 in great shape. And then again, I lost all my comics in 2011. Oh man. Somewhere, somehow, there's got to be a Storage Wars episode of somebody being like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, this guy apparently moved out of the country, and he couldn't find a payment method in order to continue paying for his storage, so we bought his storage locker. What's in here? This idiot lost the first full appearance of Wolverine, and a whole bunch of other comics. Just terrible. So, what do we got here? Sonia Mercado. Hello. Loving your channel. I watch you all the time. Thank you very much. Raven, Astonishing Tales. Thank you, for crying out loud. Astonishing Tales. Thank you. I knew somebody would find the fourth one for me. Sonia, I would love if you did reviews of old House of Mystery. You know what? I could do that. I could absolutely do that. I'll do a spotlight on story for the old House of Mystery. That was Dead Man, right? That was the main one that was in there, if I'm remembering correctly. I love Dead Man. I usually love Dead Man. The current 6-issue miniseries that's out right now, who's doing that? I know who's doing that. For crying out loud, I know who's doing that. I got Dave Avocado in my head, and why do I have Dave Avocado in my head? I'm obviously getting tired. Anyway, yes, the person who's doing that right now, I'm not happy with it. I'm not. I read the first I reviewed the first issue. I don't even think I reviewed the second issue. I know I read the second issue. I'm like, I can't do a review of this because I'm just going to be bad mouthing it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was not cool with it. But Deadman himself was really cool. Yeah, I could absolutely do that. Sleep equals weakness. Yes, David. Yes, it does. Excuse me. Jesse Johnson, have you been reading Constantine? The latest issue was surprisingly awesome. Do you mean Hellblazer? I think Hellblazer's out now. Constantine's not. Am I right or am I wrong? Either way, no, I'm not reading it right now. Is it really good? Okay. Well, if the latest issue is good, cool. I'm going to start picking up, starting with issue number 30, I'm going to start picking up Deathstroke because it's going to be that 6-part mini arc of Batman versus Deathstroke where somebody suggests that Damian Wayne is actually Damian Slade. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'll read the heck out of that. I'll review the heck out of that. Raven, really 181 is worth that much? No. This was back in 1983 when I first got out of basic. It's potentially worth more now. Here's the thing. It's probably worth a whole lot more now. Here's the thing. It always depends. Like somebody just asked me recently on Facebook, "Hey, I got these 3 issues of such and such and such." You know, saying how much are they worth? There's this huge misconception that we can tell how much a comic book is worth because they had that stupid comic book pricing guide way back in the day when we were all younger. And I bought it too. I went out and I bought it, and it was the biggest scam in the world. There's no way to put a price on a comic book. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. Like, I remember the one time I walked up to because when I was a kid, I walked up and I had the comic book, the comic book pricing guide, and I was like, hey, you've got that issue. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I'm trying to remember which issue it was, but it was for $40. I remember, and I was like, and I want it, but here it says it should only be worth 30. So can you just sell it to me for 30? Like, no. I was like, but here it says it's worth 30. Yeah. And I thought it was a self-explanatory question, like, well, but I was 14. You know what I'm saying? I just started high school, for crying out loud. I was 14 years old. So I'm sitting there looking at this and like, I don't understand. It's saying it's $30. It's like, do you really think that thing can tell you how much a comic book is worth? I'm like, can it? And that was probably the first time I realized that books can be flat out lies. Not just the idea of comic books. They're so, because, like, to me, you've got fiction and nonfiction. That's it. And then subcategories of fiction, right? Subcategories of nonfiction too. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, all these different subcategories of fiction, right? This was a work of fiction. It would literally be like, this is how much Beanie Babies are worth. Remember Beanie Babies when they were expensive? Or the whole reason why eBay started in the first place. This is how much all these Pez dispensers are worth. Nobody can sit there and put a price on there and say this is the standard rate of something. It's not like the stock market, you know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I had to find out that out the hard way, that things are worth however much you're willing to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So if you go someplace and you see, hey, this is for such and such a price, I'm not willing to pay that. You know what I'm saying? Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay this much. I remember I got this Captain America. I got that Captain America figure because that came with the original Mandroid. It came with the Mandroid. It was supposed to be a Mandroid Build-A-Figure, all right? And I remember I was actually at a Walmart, and I lived right there at the time. No, I wasn't living there. Anyway, I wasn't living there, but I was there for about 3 months. It was on vacation before I went back overseas, and I kept on going to this Walmart, and every single week I would go, and I would see this thing is still there. Nobody's buying it. And then at one point, somebody stole the Mandroid helmet out of the hat out of it, the head, and then somebody also stole the pistol. I'm like, somebody stole the pistol. Crap, darn it. So I went up and I was like, hey, I went up to somebody. I was like, listen, hi, I'm looking for a manager. It's like, yeah, I'm a floor supervisor. I was like, okay, cool. Listen, this has been here for a long time. I've been coming here for 6 weeks now, and this figure is still here. And this head part has been missing for a while. Now I see that the gun is missing. Listen, before the shield goes missing, I don't think anybody's going to buy this, but I'm willing to buy it if you can drop the price a lot. What can you do for me? Like, well, let me see. And they look back and they're like, oh, wow, yeah, that's actually been here for the past how many months? It's like, okay, yeah. I'll drop the price down to 50% for you. What do you say? I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good. So I got it for $15. You know what I'm saying? Actually, when I went up to the register, it was like $13.98 or something like that, and that's after taxes, and that's Canadian taxes, which is 13%. It's actually not that bad. So because we get health care for it. So anyway, I'm just like, holy crap! Wow. So like it's all depending on what are you willing to pay for it. How much are these guys? How much do these guys think that they can get for it? So yeah, that's really all it is. Um, Bow, Joe Fisher. I still think that's why they killed Wolverine off. They had him in so many comic books, made Superior Spider-Man so they would stop being in every comic book. You are 100% right. That's the official reason, actually, Joe, why they killed off Wolverine. Like, people are actually starting to get Wolverine wear. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll read a comic book with Wolverine, they'll read a comic book, period, and Wolverine will be in it, and you start getting, like, skid marks in your pants, because you're just like, dude, are you serious? Another Wolverine? It's like it just got so old. But unfortunately, when they did kill him, they gave us Old Man Logan, they gave us Laura Kinney, she was already there, I get it, but they gave us Honey Badger, she was Honey Badger before she was Honey Badger. They gave us, Sabretooth as Wolverine, they threw Dakin back at us, they gave us Jimmy Hudson, like we had more Wolverines. Wolverine was in more things than other, and it's like, dude, this is a little bit too much right now. It's a little bit too much. So I think that they really should have just gone. It was like what, 4 years? They should have just gone 4 years, and it's like not hide nor hair. So when he does come back, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just, oh, okay, cool. So are they finally going to get rid of these other jokesters? Because, but we didn't really go without a Wolverine for this whole time. So, we the regular Bruce Banner Hulk is coming back. Yay! Because we had Amadeus Cho, and maybe we won't have Amadeus Cho anymore. I don't really care. I tried to read him for a while. He was pretty good. The World War Hulk or the Planet Hulk storyline is not good, so I stopped reading it recently. But there's still a Hulk. There's still a big green guy, and he's a Hulk. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care that he's coming back. I don't care. I don't think he was dead long enough. He should have been dead for a couple more years, literally a couple more years, and then just out of nowhere, don't advertise that he's coming back. Make it a huge shock and a surprise, so people are like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Don't advertise. Like, I hate it when they advertise that they were going to kill Superman. They advertise they're going to kill Captain America. No, and then he specifically just stop advertising this stuff, man. Just give us a good comic book. Stop with the marketing, all right? Stop with the press releases. Just do the comic book. Let us be like, let us talk about it, especially now. Now's the days of social media, man. I get it. Way back in the day, I get it. Back when, even when Death of Captain America, they called it the Death of Captain America, and Captain America actually died. They gave him the Kennedy death. You know what I'm saying? The assassination. I get it because there wasn't a lot of social media out at the time and whatnot. Nobody knew how to necessarily navigate the AOL chat rooms. It was actually after that. But you get what I'm saying, right? But today, social media, don't you ever advertise somebody's going to die or that somebody's going to come back. Don't do it. When all of a sudden Black Widow died, it was like, oh, that was unexpected. And that was great. That was great. You know what I'm saying? That sent some interesting shockwaves. This is because we weren't expecting it. But if you're bracing for impact, you know what I'm saying? This is the issue where Hulk is going to come back. Where's the surprise exactly? So, yeah. No, not really what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. Stop advertising this stuff. All right. Favorite Avenger. Oh, Ghost Skittle. What's up? Took me a long time to recall the names too. Yeah, I know. And I don't want to stop and go on the thing. Segment, yes, segment coming up. Where's my phone? There's my phone. What's up, Ghost Skittle? Favorite Avenger and why? That's a hard one. Actually, no, it's not. Captain America, because Captain America embodies everything that I want to embody as a human being. I remember I stayed off of Captain America for the longest time, but I used to read The Incredible Hulk all the time. And I remember I read this one issue of The Incredible Hulk where it was right before he went gray. All right, it was right before he went gray. I just moved from New Jersey into Ohio, and I was having a really hard time with it because everybody talked funny. Sorry. Everything was just different. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nearly as urban as I was used to, and just it's all over the place. Anyway, so I grabbed this one issue, the latest issue of the Hulk, and it was all the Avengers and more going after the Hulk to beat him up because Hulk and Banner were separated. I will do a spotlight. I got to do a spotlight story on that. And there was this one thing, like the whole thing about it was Captain America was standing on this little precipice and was looking at the battle as all these big time Avengers, like even Mockingbird was in there hitting Hulk with the with her battle staff. You know what I'm saying? She formed into the one staff and everything. And it's like, okay, cute, I guess. But what do you call it? Yeah, I did. What was it? The reporter was like, at one point the reporter said, all these heroes are attacking the Hulk, trying to subdue him. But one man, one Avenger, and I'm just, off the top of my head, the man who's most likely to be able to stop the Hulk is just standing here. Why? And it's just like taking the far off picture, and they won't actually get too close to him because he might spring into action at any moment, right? So that's what they were saying about Captain America. And it's like, that's when all of a sudden it hit me. I was 10 years old. And I remember I just turned 10. And it hit me and it stuck with me forever. That you don't have somebody, like Wolverine's cute, right? I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do ain't very nice. Okay, keep talking yourself up, tough guy. You know what I'm saying? You know how you really show yourself to be really tough? Have somebody else talk about how tough you are. All right? And that was amazing for me. I'm like, why does Captain America have the best chance to beat up the Hulk? And I didn't get it. The Hulk was my favorite at the time, But as I grew up, Captain America became my favorite. And I started to understand why the ideal of the underdog is so important. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that Captain America really is just one of the best fighters that there is out there. You know what I'm saying? And the best part about him is that he doesn't need you to be as good as him. He needs you to be as good as you can be. And it's inspiring. And I'm like, nobody inspires like Captain America. Nobody. Batman can't make people fear people as well as Captain America can inspire someone. Like, Cap is the best. And I fell in love with just the concept. You know what I'm saying? The icon, the shield, it's just, amazing. So, yeah, Captain America, and for other reasons too, but that was my first real, like, the Hulk told me to love Captain America. You know what I'm saying? And I did. It was amazing. And just seeing him being this leader that you don't listen to him, you screw up. You listen to him, you're golden, And people starting to realize that he's awesome. Like in the Avengers versus one of the trials of Magneto. I think it was the first original trial of Magneto in the X-Men. I can't remember. Anyway, when they first showed that that Magneto's actually a telepath. Also, he's got like 10% of the power that Charles Xavier has, but he does have the ability to read people's minds because electromagnetics, and it's all magnetic. Anyway, so he read Captain America's mind. He's like, I can't believe it. There's not an ounce of racism in you. You don't hate us for being mutants. How is that possible? And he's like, I didn't know there was a human in creation who was capable of not hating us. And Cap, through all the pain, he's just like, yeah, well, hi, welcome to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not part of the dream. It's not part of the ideal to, such and such. And he wasn't all about, America's the best. No, the biggest critic of America was Captain America, and I wouldn't have known that just by looking at the title of the comic book. You know what I'm saying? He was very critical of some of the things that happened in America, and I loved it because it just spoke. He's basically the originator of speaking truth to power in the comic books, at least. You know what I'm saying? And speaking truth to power is dangerous. It's dangerous. So, yeah, absolutely love Captain America. That's why. Ghost Skittle, what do you think of Coates writing Cap? I am anxious to see what Coates will do. Ta-Nehisi Coates writing Cap will be. That's actually one of the things I want to talk about when I talk about my my Marvel legacy to Marvel new fresh start, and all the people talking about because I saw that some people were talking about. Oh yeah, man, you see that? Christopher Priest, who wrote the most amazing run of Black Panther ever, He talks about how, yeah, I'm black, and everybody at Marvel and DC, they only asked me to come and join up, to do something, so I'd write a black character. It's like, oh, do you want to write this black character? Do you want to write that black character? Do you want to write that black character? It's like, just because I wrote Black Panther doesn't mean I only know how to write Black Panther, or I only know how to write black characters. So just because I'm black doesn't mean I can only write people who look like me. I can write other characters too. And that's the thing. Yeah, of course he can, and it seems like, okay, they didn't get that. They were too much with the idea of, but then again, like, it's hard to blame them. It's hard to blame them. Like, Marvel went through a lot of crap. Just think about what do you call Iron Fist? With Iron Fist, people are like, oh, Iron Fist is coming to Netflix. Well, Iron Fist is cultural appropriation because he went to Tibet, and he went to Asia, he went to the Orient, and he learned the martial arts, and martial arts is Asian, not white. And he learned the martial arts better than the Asians and all that stuff. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. First off, he went to Tibet not because he studied in Tibet. No, the door to this alien dimension called Kunlun was in Tibet. One day every 10 years. That's it. How is it? And after that, there are people of every single nationality you can imagine in there. How is that cultural appropriation exactly? Oh, wait, that's right. You're pretty much a moron who's never read an Iron Fist comic book in your life. You have no idea who this character is. You just see a white guy who could do martial arts, and you want to open your yap. Shut it. Shut it. We don't need your opinion. But Marvel kept on getting flack over that. Marvel kept on getting flack over that, and about so many other things. And more than that, Iron Fist didn't do a better job. There's so many reasons why that's not true. Iron Fist was a screw up from day one. He was always screwing up. Like, okay, in Marvel Premiere, the first issues in there, but once he had his own series and everything, he was constantly screwing something up, and he looked like such a bumbler. It's like, do you want to really have an Asian character who acts like that? No. Instead, at the exact same time, they put out Shang-Chi, who didn't have to rely on any kind of mysticism, who didn't have to rely on any kind of superpowers. He was just basically Bruce Lee, and he did it better than anybody else. And he was not a screw-up. He did not constantly bumble. He was an amazing character, very well written. But nobody knows about him because these same people who are crying, they've never read comic books. We don't need you in our genre. We don't need you in our field. You know what I'm saying? We are comic book fans. You are not. You have no voice here. You have no voice. Let me be clear. You have no voice. Stop making noise. That's how I feel about that. So how could you really blame Marvel for thinking? And at the same time, DC also, because they're not stupid. They see the writing on the wall. People sitting there screaming, why do you have a white guy making a black character? What do white people know about black characters? Really? Honestly, even the whole s.h.i.e.l.d. thing. Oh, he culturally appropriated, and he did the, what do you call it? He acted like he was a Japanese person, took a Japanese name, Akira something, and he imitated a Japanese person. That was illegal. That was illegal because he was already an editor for Marvel, and he was not supposed to do writing also, because that would mean that he's technically editing his own writing, and that's illegal. He was double dipping and getting extra money by having a writing credit and editor credit. He wasn't supposed to do that. He simply should not have done that. That was illegal. That went against company policy. Heck, he could have even been fired for it. Maybe he should have been. Either way, he didn't imitate a Chinese person, a Korean person, a Vietnamese person, a person from Cambodia. He didn't imitate anybody, but very specifically a Japanese person. Why? Well, he spent literally half his life in Japan, growing up, going to schools, all that good stuff. Still has family in Japan. Understands the culture as though he were a native, because he kind of is. What do you call it? He speaks Japanese fluently. I've heard him speak Japanese fluently. The guy is like, my Japanese is nowhere near the level of this guy. I'm barely conversational. This guy, he could tell you stories from ancient Japan in Japanese fluently. Sorry. The guy deserves to be able to write about that stuff. It's just the way he went about doing it that was illicit. But how exactly is that cultural appropriation? It's not. He grew up in that culture. That's a part of his culture. Just people need to just calm down. And I'm not, and in this case, I'm not telling people to shut up. Here, I'm telling people shut up until you stop and take a deep breath and think about what you're about to say and see if it actually makes sense. That's what I'm saying in that regard. Too many people, man. Too many people. They just want to open their mouth and get in their opinion. It's like the news, the mainstream news media on the cable TV. We got to be first with this breaking exclusive story. No, you don't. You know what you got to do? You got to get the story right. That's what you need to do. So I'm not interested in first. I'm not interested in the first person who wants to speak up. I was saying this before everybody. I don't care if you were saying this before everybody else. Were you right? Because if you were, you probably got lucky. That's like, I knew I was going to win the lotto. How? How? Are you a time traveler? Do you have some kind of an in and you broke in and you like tampered with the lotto and so that you could actually do it? Because other than that, you didn't know. You're guessing. Stop talking. Ugh. Some people just really don't get, life. So, yeah. One of the reasons why I want to talk about the fresh start. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion on it. People sitting there talking about, like these same people who hate on Marvel. They're like, oh, Marvel. Yeah, DC did it to a lesser extent too. No, I read the article. I read the actual article. Christopher Priest specifically said Marvel and DC both did it. But DC's much more of a conservative comic book than Marvel is. So, protect our own. Protect our own. Don't throw our own under the bus. Don't do it. So, yeah, Marvel, they think they're only hiring people for agendas. Shut up, man. Stop talking, all right? Because now what happens? All of a sudden it's announced that Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to start writing for Captain America. Oh, great. There's going to be a racist in charge of doing stuff. How is Ta-Nehisi Coates a racist exactly? Where is this coming from? Oh, from your own deep-seated, evil, black, inky heart. That's where it's coming from. Stop talking. Stop making videos. Shut up. It's hate speech. You have the right to say it, but I remember one time I was in a movie theater and somebody is talking on their phone when the actual movie is on, sitting in the seat behind me and like two or three, I think three to the right. And I'm there with my girlfriend, and this is years ago. And the guy's on the phone. I was like, sir, the movie's on. And he looks at me. He's like, yeah, and freedom of speech. I'm not an idiot. I actually understand what that first of three tenets in the First Amendment actually means. So I say, really? Then could you do me a favor and show me just how much you believe that? Can you please stand up and at the top of your lungs scream fire? He looks at me. He's like, what? I was like, at the top of your lungs, please scream fire, because that would be an exercise of your freedom of speech, except that since it would be a false call of fire, which would cause panic inside of a place with only a couple of exits, and it's also dark, you would be arrested for doing that. Oh no, really, you would be arrested for it. So show me how much you believe in the freedom of speech. Show me. And stand up and at the top of your lungs scream fire. And if you're not willing to do that, you coward, then turn off your phone before I go up and have you removed from the theater myself. And it's just like, man, shut up. Yo, I'll call you back, man. Puts the phone away, looks at me, gets up, and walks away. You know what the smartest thing that he did? Was not trying to attack me. Anyway. That's the funniest thing about it. That's the funniest thing about it. So, anyway, let's see. Wow, this is freaking out. Let's see. So yeah, I'm cool with taking a look and see what Ta-Nehisi is going to do with Captain America. I don't know if it's going to be great. I don't know if it's going to stink because I've never seen him write Cap before. I've only actually read the Black Panther, and I love it. So, and as far as racist, I'm actually seeing something I've mentioned it in my reviews before. I see Ta-Nehisi suggesting that the current residents of Wakanda may have to make reparations to the people who they conquered who came before them in that land that is currently known as Wakanda. That doesn't sound very racist. Talking about making black people pay for, like, Native Africans pay reparations. That doesn't sound like racism to me. That doesn't sound like racism at all. Maybe I don't actually know what racism is. Or, so Cho will still be Hulk in the Champions. I'm okay with. See, I like Cho being the Hulk in the Champions, but the current storyline is just doing absolutely nothing for me. Raven, I'll have to take a look in my coffin to see if my brother borrowed my copy of 181. Wow. And then you might have to take out a hit on your brother. There's some air quotes for you. Ghost Skittle, are you most excited for a new Thor, Immortal Hulk, or Aaron's Avengers? I don't know. I honestly I don't know. I don't know what I'm most excited for. I'm more of a let's see what happens when it comes. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested in that. But, so I don't really know. I don't think I actually have an opinion on that. I don't think. I don't actually have an opinion on that. Ghost Skittle, is WB really selling DC? You know, I heard that and I'm hoping not because that was supposed to happen back in 1994. I think it was 1994. 96, I think, is when Marvel went bankrupt. 98 is when they went bankrupt. So in 96, DC was actually trying to sell DC Comics to Marvel. They said, do you want to buy Superman and Batman and all of our characters? And Marvel Comics has always had so much respect for them. Like, no, tough it out. It's bad for us too. Tough it out. We'll get through all of this. Yeah. They did. Marvel didn't. Not the same way. They wound up selling all their movie rights. DC actually got through it. So it's a good thing. Like, hey, dude, right now you'd be having they wouldn't be called crossovers anymore. You know what I'm saying? It would just be Marvel. So let's see. David Nelson, do you think you think they killed Batman because he is in so many stories? Oh, are you saying back in the 90s? Well, actually, no. When did they kill? They killed him in Final Crisis. No, no. I think it was just it was a sales pitch. It was a sales thing to try and shake things up and hey, man, let's check it out. Let's see what we can do. I think that's all it was. Jesse, when written right, I think Superman is very inspiring. Superman is probably the most inspiring character that there is. Well, no, I would say Captain America is potentially a more inspiring character simply because he doesn't have all the superpowers. Superman is inspiring despite having his superpowers, but Captain America is inspiring despite him not having superpowers. You know what I'm saying? Like there's that question of bravery. You know what I'm saying? Are you really that brave? If so inspiring without bravery is not the same as being inspiring with bravery. Superman telling you be strong, don't give up the fight to a normal human could make that normal human say, okay, cool, I'll do it, Superman, because I love the S on your chest. You're awesome, man. Hope, baby. # hope. But Captain America saying it, there's not that question of, listen, you know what I'm saying? You're immortal. Nobody can hurt you, okay? You've never actually been hurt, you know what I'm saying, physically. Like, not really. Yeah, so I don't want to hear it, So I think that Captain America is more inspiring, but Superman, I have seen so many inspiring stories by him. It's, from him. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I cannot disagree in the slightest. Joe Fisher, I have that trade paperback, the X-Men vs. the Avengers. That was good. Do you also have AVX? A plus X? That's AVX. Do you have A plus X? Because those are just as good. Go Skittle. It was, if that sounded racist, I'm sorry. I'm a person mixed race, so I hope Coates does great. No, I'm not talking about you at all, Ghost Skittle. I'm saying like some of these other the other YouTube channels that have SJW in the titles of every one of their videos. No, I'm talking about those guys. They went and said all that stuff. No, I don't think you're racist at all. What do you call it? Actually, I didn't even know you were mixed. I actually thought you were just black from what you were saying in one of the other podcasts that we had. What do we got here? Bull Squad. Whoa. Professor, is the torch being passed from Coates to Narcisse? I don't know who that is. Who is currently doing Rise? Oh, Rise. Oh, okay, there we go. Rise of the Black Panther. Maybe. I think both are great, and Narcisse is writing great things in the book. Thanks. Yeah, he is actually doing some pretty good things in the book. I've decided that I'm going to take all of those together and just put them in one straight video because, yeah, cool. Doing the individual videos, I think, is very hard for me right now. Is even going to be hard to understand because I really have to go back and explain what just happened before. So unless you're going to watch all 6 videos in a row, then you're not really going to get the points that I'm making unless I'm exasperating by repeating myself a little bit too much in each individual video. So I think that for the sake of brevity, I will just simply make one video straight through of all 6 issues of Rise of the Black Panther. It would be good if if it was him who's going to switch over because he is actually rewriting a lot of the history. So I'm good with it as long as he continues with the storyline as is, because with his own little twist on it, because I do like it. I don't see Coates having a lot of time to do 2 comic book titles. That would be impressive because he's currently a writer for The Atlantic. He's a New York Times best-selling author of at least 2 books, and I just don't see the guy being able to slow down in order to just be a Marvel writer. I don't think you get that much money being a writer, being working for Marvel to begin with. They just don't make that much money. Dude, I'm hungry. Do this segment already. Okay. Yes, I'm waiting for a coffee and a smoke. Sorry. They broke Batman. Yes, they broke Batman, but they didn't kill him, Joe Fisher. Can't say Spider-Man isn't inspiring. Spider-Man absolutely can be inspiring. I think that's one of the big things that people have a problem with lately with the what do you call it? The slot run is that Spider-Man hasn't been particularly inspiring lately. And that I can agree with them on. Go Skittle, what's your opinion on Thor, Hulk, and Avengers? Comment had to go real quick. Oh no, I didn't give the opinion. I said I don't really have an opinion because I don't know which one I'm more excited for. Have you read The Last Man? Why The Last Man? No, Jesse Johnson, I have not. Okay, starting the... Oh, sorry, it's not the segment. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, that one. And ka-chow! It's time for the Eye of Agamotto segment. So, we got, looks like Bruce Wayne looking at Batman in a mirror. And if they start attacking each other, that would be totally awesome. Oh, that's it? Batman number 44. Catwoman picks a dress in this issue. Oh, okay, I get it. So they're looking for their wedding suits. Okay. I wonder if Batman is actually going to see her dress. Bad luck. So she's a black cat. Anytime she crosses in front of him, done. So Moon Girl issue number 31 is going to be an anti-smoking special. Also, start reading Moon Girl or snipers will be after you. I'm pretty sure that constitutes a threat. It will happen soon, my friend. It will happen. So here's the picture. That's cool. I remember when they used to do stuff like this all the time. I never had a problem with these kinds of issues. And if they found out that there are a lot of kids who are actually reading that comic book, here's a Weapon X variant cover, then, Weapon H variant cover. If they found out that there are a lot of young girls who are reading that comic book, then more power to them. Avengers number 1 by Jason Aaron preview. Nobody's going to be able to see this black and white. And Thor looks really fat in this, dude. Oh no, that's Odin. Yeah, it makes sense. Sandman is coming back to DC. That is really great news, dude. So guys, Sandman returning to DC Comics. Is it going to be by Neil Gaiman, though? That is my question, my friend. Can I see a name on here? And no, I do not. I see the Sandman universe. Not interested, my friend. Neil Gaiman, S.h.i.e.l.d. Spurrier. Oh, S.h.i.e.l.d. Spurrier. He just recently did that 6-issue arc with the Shadow. He actually brought the Shadow into the modern world of like cell phones and stuff. That's impressive. Nilo Hopkins, Cat Howard, and Dan Waters. So Neil Gaiman and S.h.i.e.l.d. Spurrier. Okay, you know what? I believe that this comic book can work. And you want to see me excited about a comic book? That's it right there. I saw this. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. Let's see if it gets bigger that way. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't answer that question as well as I wanted to before. Which villains am I looking to see in the Spider-Man video game? I want to see a lot of villains. I want to see... It would be kind of cool if he had to fight the Sinister Six at once. I think that would be actually pretty impressive. Oh, you left your computer password on here, dude. Let me show everybody. I'm joking, it's not there. But anyway, so Weapon X, it looks like Omega Red is going to be showing up. That's not good news for him. That's not good news for him at all. I keep on thinking he's going to die at any minute. Kill Speed is going to be a villain for Sideways. So her name is Kill Speed. Nice. She looks just a little bit like Silencer. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Um, Deadpool variant for Quicksilver. Yeah, he actually looks like Quicksilver. You see the fast forward button there on his chest. And Scotty Young variant for Avengers. Just a stupid Hulk face. What is this? Mr. Miracle sneak peek. This doesn't. Oh, jeez, it's the Fems. The Fems are sitting there. They're probably mad because they killed Granny Goodness a little bit earlier. And yes, Sasquatch of Alpha Flight will be a supporting character in the Immortal Hulk. They're just showing the Hulk in this one. Okay, so that's it. So, yeah, I guess everybody's leaving now. And I'm okay with that because there's almost 2 hours now and I want to go. So anyway, let's see. Any more questions really quick? Sean, hang in there, Sean. PA Stores trying to calm me down. David, I need to read Sandman soon. Yeah. Oh, you never read any Sandman? I think there may be a Spotlight on Story coming soon. I'm off for food. Bye, Sean. Go Skittle. Gotta go. Sorry. Great stream. Have a good night. No worries, dude. Yeah, I'm about to bounce also. So, as I always say, guys, thank you so much for joining. This was obviously fun as heck because I was on here for an hour and 50 minutes. My God. You guys are nuts. All right, guys. Love, peace, and hair grease. And I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.